Time for an updated garden tour. I hope you like it.
Hello there, YouTube. I'm back from another writers conference, and it's time to start doing some fall chores around the garden, and everything is slowly quieting down for the year, and some of it's making some demands on me differently for this whole back to Eden thing. I wanted to show you. So here's where my corn has been, and we harvested a ton out of there, 8 tons. And I was waiting for my second batch of corn to get ripened, and for whatever reason, the wind is blowing them down. And so that's what that is. There's actually two-third to more mature corn, but then it gets knocked over in the wind and there's no putting it back up. So I've been slowly mulching again with grass clippings. So this will get hot, which I kind of want because I wanted to show you what it looks like underneath. So I have, oh, here's a good section. When I harvest something out, it actually creates a place where the weeds are kind of coming into play. So all of these little guys are totally weeds. Actually, these are not. They're actually a hollyhock, which is everywhere in my garden now. And I think that it's fun to have 1 or 2, but not quite that many. So everything is kind of finishing out. All of the vines are starting to get the mildew that we get this time of year and slowing down on their production, which is kind of fun. It's always fun to put the garden away too, because then you get a little break before the work all starts again. And I'm gonna pull out my beans. I did pull out my trellis. I pulled my trellis from here because I actually got kind of tired of having to walk back and forth. Which way's the rabbit hutch here? Where's the rabbit hutch? Kind of weird to do backwards. Oh, right there. So it's weird. I'm kind of happy to cut through to feed my rabbits, and I put it in the back over there where the chicken, see that plastic piece right there? My chicken pen is actually right back there. And they needed to be more secure because I started to have good old hawks, chicken hawks hanging around. But I am finding that even with this busy season of life that's happening, it's so nice when there's only time for 5 things in a day that requires 20. Sometimes you get this little pocket of 15 minutes and you're like, I can't get anything done. And you're like, then you come out here and you just catch your breath and you're like, and I planted some lavender. So the Hubs is headed off. We had all of our kids around for my second son's 20th birthday. And I don't know about you guys, but when you have 22 down to 14-year-olds, that family time is pretty precious. And it was fun because just a minute ago they were all out here in the garden doing different things with me, just hanging out with me while I was doing my thing. So the row of beans needs to come out, but I'm actually going to see if I can harvest any seeds. I have been seed collecting this year. I cut the tops of my tall, big, humongous sunflowers, and I'm hoping that I won't have to buy any of those seeds for a lot of years now. And my daughter just told me that she wants to carve pumpkins. I was going to show you how my big pumpkins are doing there. Can you see? Pumpkins all in there. There's several actually hiding in there, and I have another pumpkin patch over there. So I think my delicata and my winter squash and all of that are going to have a race to see if they can actually get all the way done and ready before full frozen weather comes. But I really can't even tell you how nice it is to know that my garden is never ever going to be completely empty again. You know, your brassicas, I'm going to plant some garlic and different things like that. Those will be in the ground over the winter, and I think it's really good for this Oregonian who doesn't see sunshine all year long to have some of things like that to look forward to. So the big birdhouse gourds, I have that mold going on them too, and there's only like 3 of them that hit their full size. So I'm really curious to see if I put those in a different location that gets more sun, if I would get more gourds. So I might plant them on the fence line or something next year. Some of the places, I think I was telling you right before I cut off my video that I planted some new lavender on the front fence, and I'm excited about that because I've been propagating it myself, and I always feel like somehow I beat the system when I propagate it myself through clippings, and then I don't have to pay for it. But my goal is to get along the outside of my fence on both sides, to one kind of lavender along the front and a different kind of lavender along the side. And so I'm slowly just working my way to, you know, waiting for them to mature enough that you can take a clipping and start it again. So I don't know if you can see this, but let's see, down in here, let's see. Remember when I planted those potatoes from the seedlings? I have like 4 plants growing. So there's one there, and there's 2 over here. And so I wouldn't necessarily say that's a huge success, but it's always nice when something works and it grows. And I do think that they'll get up far enough that I can get some little new potatoes before the winter wipes them out. Nasturtium is growing. I'm putting all my corn stuff back in this corner. This is my current mulch pile that I'm gonna hope to heap so big that it generates some heat before the wet season turns and kills it all out. And then that one over there, I'm actually gonna spread out into some garden beds and slowly keep making a place for me to walk, or I mean a place for me to grow for next year. Brassicas are doing good on all scales. I have 2 cantaloupes that the stems have not died out yet, but they gotta be getting close. So I'm kind of hoping they beat all of those things were so late. Do you guys remember my slugs, my video of slugs? Oh, that reminds me. I have videos that I'm supposed to put up that I told you guys, I keep telling you I'm gonna put up, but I keep trying to wait till they're spread out, and then too much time passes, so they'll feel like they're out of order, but I'm still gonna put them up. So I also worked on this. I got the arch right here in the beginning of my garden. I'm doing my selfie type of camera, and I just put that in. So at the bottom there's some noodle beans and some climbing stuff, which I don't know if those will get up tall enough, but I'm kind of hoping they get some way up just so I can see what it looks like before winter comes in. And of course these sunflowers are doing good. And right here is where I have my lavender starts going all the way down. And look, this one's actually even blooming a little bit. Oh, can you see that? My selfie videoing here. Which I'm excited because in the spring I would like to have a nice healthy purple hue along the bottom of this fence. I think it would be pretty cool. So still a sanctuary, still a potager feel, still got all kinds of things that are green. The tomatoes are on their last leg, but they're still producing like crazy. My mom came and got a bunch and put a bunch up. I like them fresh, and I'm a volleyball coach, so there's not a lot of time that I'm not in the gym. Our team is doing pretty good. And like I said, the writing. So I went to a writers conference in Nashville, Tennessee, and had the great opportunity to sit and try to see if I can build some relationship and connection with some acquisitions editors, which are on the publishing end, the side of it. And I did. I had a successful connection with Tyndale and HarperCollins, and actually 2 with Revell between the 2 conferences. And so the goal is to polish up a proposal and send that out, which I've done before. And then it's the great game of waiting. And waiting for me is always made better when I can play out here and just see all the things. So I'm pretty happy with this first year's attempt, and a lot of learning. I actually pulled out a old dilapidated cast iron skillet, and I have been playing around with that. I made Dutch babies a couple times. My family thinks those are pretty great. So this is my temporary. See the archways? They fit back in here, and I put my little chicken pen in there, and I covered it so it's actually dry under there. And I got to come up with a gate so that I can keep the nasty birds that want to eat my chickens away. That would not be good. No bueno. And I definitely have some cleanup to do in the greenhouse as well. It's hard to keep up with all of it, but I've decided that I don't want my garden to push me around. It's supposed to be a retreat, a sanctuary, a place to see the beauty of things change and grow. And I'm interested in that. I want that. And you have to do work to do that, but there's a definite line for me. I don't want the kind of work that will bury me. But I am intrigued by the fact that there's a lot more weeds coming through right now in the fall than there have been all along. They're not coming through where the mulch is, they're coming through in the flower beds where the mulch was lighter types of mulch. The straw or the hardier leaf debris type topsoil, or even the grass clippings. And so they're in there Are you finding a tomato, Salty? Salty? Old lady, are you finding my tomatoes? Is that what you're doing? Yeah, they don't get to come in here very often because they like to pick my tomatoes and stuff. But so that's where we're at, just playing, enjoying, and it's definitely fall. There's a different kind of beauty, and I'm really kind of excited to see how it does over the winter. I don't think it's going to be quite so stark, and the idea of not having to start over completely, like my arches are going to be up. Some of the trellises that were there will stay. I did use a lot of them for my I don't like the way the plastic looks like there. I'll have to tighten that up and make it look neater. But I don't know. And I'm still pulling in buckets of bouquets and bouquets of flowers. And same thing, it doesn't take very much. Sometimes joy for me is in those very, very tiny little things, and contentment is found by the flavor of basil in my homegrown eggs. And my son, who's egg sensitive, has actually figured out that my homegrown eggs don't bother them. So I'm kind of excited about that, like a little bit of a win there too. So happy trails, and I'll give you updates later, and hopefully I can get this up before it's old time ancient in itself, and I'll give updates when it's completely put away for the winter, and we'll show you know, all the fun things. My watermelons are still going. We're still getting mid 70-degree weather here, and the evenings are down to about 50, 58 down to about 50, so depending on the night. So not quite cold enough to bother, and they're not ripe yet. So if I tried to eat them, it wouldn't be good anyways. So I have to wait some more anyways. So, but that's what we're up to over here in Oregon.
Totally not garden related. I thought you might enjoy some crazy videos of my son drugged up after he got his wisdom teeth pulled.
Your tongue, huh? You feel so good.
I think I had all the time so good.
Oh, it feels so good.
I think I want all the time, yeah.
Can you open your eyes and look at me?
No, it feels so good. What?
It's awesome. Do you miss Kelsey? Does it feel good?
I miss Kelsey. Where's Kelsey at? I don't want to see Kelsey.
You want to see Kelsey? Huh?
She's so cute. I miss her.
Do you want to do that again?
Oh yes, definitely, 100%. That was awesome. I just want to say like, if I could do anything like what in my life, I would do this all the time, man.
Do that.
Great.
Did you figure out what to do with your head to put it back on the thing yet?
My head doesn't know where it's going. It doesn't this one, this one. You know, like, where's Kelsey at?
I don't know where she is. I think she's at school.
Yeah, I want to see her.
You want to see her?
Yeah, and where's Levi at?
Levi drove Lizzie to school.
Oh man, he's my favorite dude.
He's your favorite?
I would think that if Levi was like there, then I would be like, what's up, Levi? But, you know,